Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Itti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpataruvyaschа Kripa Sindhuvya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, we welcome all of you to our weekly online Krishna book classes. Thank you very much for joining. We have with us here Shailesh Latkar, Auntie Neeta, Jolie Nandwani, Karuna, Kamala Nandini Mataji, Shivani, Romi, Aja, Vivansh, Ritu Lalwani, Devina, Meenakshi, Hari, Sheetal Latkar, Wendy Perez, Shantaram Latkar, Swapna Latkar, Priyanka Jha, N.C. Venkachari, and we have Shri Radha Hari Devidasi. Okay. So what did we see in the previous class?
We saw that
that Krishna got married to the 5 queens, 5 Ranis, and the 16,000, I think.
The mention of the 16,100 queens is there towards the end of the previous class. But the detailed description of how those marriages happened, we will see in today's class. By the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna. Okay, let me share my screen. One second, there is a problem here. Okay. So today, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we will be seeing chapter number 59 of the Krishna book, titled The Deliverance of the Demon Bhaumāsura. Does anybody know what this name means? Bhaumāsura.
Asuran.
Yes, he's an asura, which means he's a demon. Very good. And the word Bhauma means?
World. Is it? No.
Okay. But
Son
not in
of
this
the-
context. I don't know.
He's the son of the earth personified.
Yes. And earth personified in Sanskrit is called?
Bhumi.
Bhumi. Yes, Bhumi. So because he is the son of Bhumi, he is called as Bhauma. And because he's a demon, he is called as a Bhaumāsura. So we will see how the killing of this demon is connected to Krishna marrying 16,100 wives. Let's read. The story of Bhaumāsura, how he kidnapped and made captive 16,000 princesses by collecting them from the palaces of various kings, and how he was killed by Krishna, the supreme lord of wonderful character, is all described by Sukadeva Goswami to King Parikshit in Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, the demons are always against the demigods. This demon Bhaumāsura, having become very powerful, took by force the umbrella from the throne of the demigod Varuna. He also took the earrings of Aditi, the mother of the demigods. He conquered the portion of heavenly Mount Meru known as Mani Parvata and occupied it. The king of the heavenly planets, Indra, therefore came to Dwarka to complain about Bhaumāsura before Lord Krishna. So this is more or less like a introduction of what is coming up in the chapter. So what's the problem here? What has Bhaumāsura done which has disturbed the demigods?
He has stole Aditi's earrings, then he has stole the province of Manipura, then he has stole one more thing I don't
The
remember.
umbrella of
The umbrella,
Varun.
yeah, Vara.
Yeah. See here, he has taken the umbrella from the throne of Varun Dev. He has taken the earrings of Aditi, who is the mother of the demigods. So also she is the mother of Lord Indra and all the other devatas. And he has taken a portion of Mount Meru, known as Mani Parvata. So this was full of jewels. So he has taken it by force. So therefore now Indra has come to Dwarka to meet Lord Krishna and to complain about Bhaumāsura, so that Krishna can resolve this problem. Another name of Bhaumāsura, anybody knows?
Narakasura.
Yes, Narakasura, no? Correct. And because he killed Narakasura, he is called as Narakantaka. Krishna is also called as Narakantaka because he has killed the demon Narakasura. Having heard this complaint by Indra, the king of heaven, Lord Krishna, accompanied by his wife Satyabhama, immediately started for the abode of Bhaumāsura. The two of them rode on the back of Garuda, who flew them to Pragjotishapura, Bhaumāsura's capital city. To enter the city of Pragjotishapura was not a very easy task because it was very well fortified. First of all, there were 4 strongholds guarding the 4 directions of the city, which was well protected on all sides by formidable military strength. The next boundary was a water canal all around the city, And in addition, the whole city was surrounded by electric wires. The next fortification was of Anila, a gaseous substance. After this, there was a network of barbed wire constructed by a demon of the name Mura. The city appeared well protected even in terms of today's scientific advancement. So this was a very well protected city, and it was not easy to break through, is what is being described. Now Bhaumāsura's capital city is called
Pragjyotisapura.
Yes, this is actually modern day Tejpur in Assam. This city is still existing. It's called Tejpur in Assam. Okay. So one may question now, how many wives Krishna has so far?
8.
8. So he has taken one of those 8 wives with him when he went to the capital city of Bhaumāsura. Who is she?
Satyabhama.
So one may question, why did he take Satyabhama along with him? So this answer we will see here in the commentary of Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. The umbrella actually belonged to Varuna, but because of Indra's superior position as the king of the demigods, the verse mentioned that it was stolen from Indra. So when you read the Sanskrit, it says that it was stolen from Indra. So why? This is the reason. Being informed about the activities of Bhauma by Indra, whose umbrella, mother's earrings, and jewel mountain were stolen, Krishna went to Pragjyotishapura, Bhauma's capital, with his wife Satyabhama. Bhauma's capital still exists today as Tejpur in Assam. Why did Krishna bring his wife along? Krishna had promised Bhumi that he would not kill her demoniac son without her permission. Since Bhumi is an expansion of Satyabhama, the latter could authorize Krishna to kill the unusually nasty Bhaumāsura, if necessary, during the heat of the battle. Krishna took Satyabhama along for this purpose. In addition, Satyabhama had been miffed when Narada Muni brought a heavenly Parijata flower to Queen Rukmini. At that time, Krishna promised Satyabhama, I will give you a whole tree of these flowers. Therefore, Krishna brought Satyabhama along to show that he could take the tree from Indra. So there are 2 reasons why Krishna has brought his wife Satyabhama. One is because he cannot kill Bhaumāsura without the permission of his mother, who is Bhumi Devi. And Bhumi Devi is an expansion of Satyabhama. So he wants that when this conflict is going on, when this fight is going on, or the battle is going on with Bhaumāsura, Satyabhama should give him permission to kill him, give him the sanction to kill him. So one is that reason, and 2 is because he has promised Satyabhama, I will give you a full tree of Parijata flowers. So these Parijata trees are actually found in the spiritual world. There are several of these trees. But in the material world, in Indra Loka, you can find this Parijata tree. So what is so special about this Parijata tree? These are, desire trees. No, they can fulfill any desire that you want. So therefore, when Narada Muni gave one Parijata flower to Rukmini, Satyabhama was thinking that, oh, I would also like to have it. So Krishna said, why do you want only one flower? I will get you a whole tree. So he knows that this Parijata tree is in the Indraloka. Okay, let's continue with Krishna book. When Krishna arrived, he broke all the strongholds to pieces by the strokes of his club and scattered the military strength here and there by the constant onslaught of his arrows. With his celebrated Sudarshan Chakra, he counteracted the electrified boundary, annihilated the canals of water and the gaseous boundary, and cut to pieces the electrified network fabricated by the demon Mura. By the vibration of his conch shell, he broke the hearts of great fighters and also broke the fighting machines that were there. Similarly, he broke the walls around the city with his invincible club. So he has effortlessly destroyed all these different boundaries, the boundary of water, gas, electricity, and all these other boundaries that this demon has. Krishna has cut through all of them. Actually, the Acharyas describe that when Indra went to Krishna and he requested him to deal with Bhaumāsura, he suggested that Krishna go there in the four-handed form. So Krishna actually mounted Garuda in his four-handed Narayan form. And Satyabhama was there with him. So because Krishna in the four-handed Narayan form, he has these symbols, no? He has the conch, he has the mace, he has the chakra. So therefore he was using these weapons to cut through these walls of Bhaumāsura. The vibration of Lord Krishna's conch shell sounded like a thunderbolt at the time of the dissolution of the whole cosmic manifestation. The demon Mura heard the vibration of the conch shell, awakened from his sleep, and came out to see what had happened. He had 5 heads and had long been living within the water. The Mura demon was as brilliant as the sun at the time of the dissolution of the cosmos, and his temper was like blazing fire. The effulgence of his body was so dazzling that he was difficult to see with open eyes. When he came out, he first took out his trident and rushed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demon Mura in his onslaught was like a big snake attacking Garuda. His angry mood was very severe and he appeared ready to devour the 3 worlds. First of all, he attacked the carrier of Krishna, Garuda, by whirling and then throwing his trident, and through his 5 mouths he vibrated sounds like the roaring of a lion. These roaring vibrations spread all over the atmosphere until they extended all over the world and into outer space, up and down, and out to the 10 directions, rumbling throughout the entire universe. So just imagine the roaring of this demon Mura is such that it has extended all over the world and into outer space to all the 10 directions and rumbling throughout the entire universe. Such was the rumbling of that demon. But what sound did Krishna make that also shattered the hearts of the opposite party?
He played his punch.
He blew his conch shell.
Yes, he blew his conch shell, no? Very nice. So even now you'll see, at least in ISKCON temples, before an arati and after an arati, the conch shell is always played. Whenever blown, I'm sorry, not blown. So why? Because whenever the conch shell is blown, it removes all negative energies, negative vibration from the house. So it's very nice to blow conch shell in your homes also. Okay. Lord Krishna saw that the trident of the Mura demon was rushing toward his carrier, Garuda. Immediately, by a trick of his hand, he took 2 arrows and threw them toward the trident, cutting it to pieces. Simultaneously, using many arrows, he pierced the mouths of the demon Mura. When the Mura demon saw himself outmaneuvered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately began to strike the Lord in great anger with his club. But Lord Krishna, with his own club, broke the club of Mura to pieces before it could reach him. The demon, bereft of his weapon, decided to attack Krishna with his strong arms, but Krishna, with the aid of his Sudarshan Chakra, immediately separated the demon's 5 heads from his body. The demon then fell into the water, just as the peak of a mountain falls into the ocean after being struck by the thunderbolt of Indra. Okay, so here the demon Mura has been killed. What name of Krishna means that he is the killer of the Mura demon?
Is it Murari?
Murari, yes. Very nice, Priyanka. Murari. Very good. Thank you. This demon Mura had 7 sons named Tamra, Antariksha, Shravana, Vibhavasu, Vasu, Nabhaswan, and Aruna. All of them became puffed up and vengeful because of the death of their father, and to retaliate they prepared in great anger to fight with Krishna. They equipped themselves with the necessary weapons and situated Pitha, another demon, to act as a commander in the battle. By the order of Bhaumāsura, all of them combinedly attacked Krishna. So 7 sons of Mura and this commander in the battle, another demon, Pitha, they are all simultaneously attacking Krishna. When they came before Lord Krishna, they began to shower him with many kinds of weapons like swords, clubs, lances, arrows, and tridents. But they did not know that the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unlimited and invincible. Kṛṣṇa with his arrows cut all the weapons of the men of Bhaumāsura into pieces like grains. Kṛṣṇa then threw his weapons, and Bhaumāsura's commander-in-chief, Pitha, along with his assistants, fell down, their military dress cut off, and their heads, legs, arms, and thighs severed. All of them were sent to the superintendent of death, Yamaraj. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in his commentary that actually all of them, they attained liberation. They all attained liberation. Bhaumāsura, who was also known as Narakasura, happened to be the son of earth personified. When he saw that all his soldiers, commanders, and fighters had been killed on the battlefield by the strokes of the weapons of the personality of Godhead, he became exceedingly angry at the Lord. He then came out of the city with a great number of elephants who had all been born and brought up on the seashore. All of them were highly intoxicated. When they came out, they saw that Lord Kṛṣṇa and his wife were beautifully situated high in outer space, just like a blackish cloud about the sun glittering from the light of electricity. The demon Bhaumāsura immediately released a weapon called Shatagni, by which he could kill hundreds of warriors with one stroke, and all his assistants simultaneously threw their respective weapons at the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Kṛṣṇa counteracted all these weapons by releasing his feathered arrows. The result of this fight was that all the soldiers and commanders of Bhaumāsura fell to the ground, their arms, legs, and heads separated from their trunks, and all their horses and elephants also fell with them. In this way, all the weapons released by Bhaumāsura were cut to pieces by the Lord's arrows. The Lord was fighting on the back of Garuda, who was helping him by striking the horses and elephants with his wings and scratching their heads with his nails and sharp beak. The elephants, feeling much pain from Garuda's attack on them, all dispersed from the battlefield. Bhaumāsura alone remained on the battlefield, and he engaged himself in fighting with Kṛṣṇa. He saw that Kṛṣṇa's carrier, Garuda, had caused great disturbance to his soldiers and elephants, and in great anger he struck Garuda with all his strength, which defied the strength of a thunderbolt. Fortunately, Garuda was not an ordinary bird, and he felt the strokes given by Bhaumāsura, just as a great elephant feels the impact of a garland of flowers. So just see, such a powerful demon. He has weapons that can pulverize an entire mountain. But even forget trying to harm Kṛṣṇa, even Garuda, the carrier of Kṛṣṇa, he is not able to harm. His weapons felt like a garland of flowers to Garuda. Bhaumāsura thus came to see that none of his tricks would act upon Kṛṣṇa, and he became aware that all his attempts to kill Kṛṣṇa would be frustrated. Yet he tried for the last time, taking a trident in his hand to strike him. Kṛṣṇa was so dexterous that before Bhaumāsura could throw his trident, his head was cut off by the sharp Sudarshan chakra. His head, illuminated by earrings and a helmet, fell down on the battlefield. On the occasion of Bhaumāsura's being killed by Lord Kṛṣṇa, all the demon's relatives screamed in disappointment, and the saintly persons glorified the chivalrous activities of the Lord. So, taking this opportunity, the denizens of the heavenly planets showered flowers on the Lord. At this time, the earth personified appeared before Lord Kṛṣṇa and greeted him with a Vaijayanti flower garland. She then returned the dazzling earrings of Aditi, bedecked with jewels and gold. She also returned the umbrella of Varuna along with a valuable jewel which she presented to Kṛṣṇa. After this, the earth personified offered her prayers to Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality and Master of the world, who is always worshipped by exalted demigods. She fell down in obeisances and in great devotional ecstasy began to speak. So now Bhumi Devi, the mother of Bhaumāsura, has appeared. She has returned the earrings and the umbrella, and she's offering prayers to Kṛṣṇa. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who is always present with four symbols, namely his conch shell, disc, lotus, and club, and who is the Lord of all demigods. Please accept my respectful obeisances unto you. My dear Lord, you are the super soul, and in order to satisfy the aspirations of your devotees, you descend to the earth in your various transcendental incarnations, which are just appropriate to the devotee's worshipful desire. Kindly accept my respectful obeisances. So, actually, what is the relationship between Bhumi and Krishna? Or let me change my question. Bhumi is the mother of Bhaumāsura. Who is the father?
Krishna is the father. So Bhumi is the wife of Krishna, one of his wives.
Yeah, how is Krishna the father of Bhaumāsura?
Well, Krishna is the father of every living entity. I don't know.
No, but more specifically?
I don't.
Okay, once Bhumi was kidnapped by the demons and she was inside the waters. So who brought her out?
Varahadev.
Varahadev, yes, Varahadev. No? So at that time, by the union of Varahadev and Bhumi Devi, Bhaumāsura was born. So actually, Bhaumāsura's birth is a very high birth. His father is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his mother is Bhumi Devi. But still, he became such a terrible demon. Why? How come? Would be the next question. What do you think?
Association, maybe.
Exactly, spot on. Because he associated with demons, then he also became demoniac. Very nice, Upasana. My dear Lord, the lotus flower grows out of your navel, and you are always decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. Your eyes are always spread like the petals of the lotus flower, and therefore they are all pleasing to the eyes of others. Your soft and delicate lotus feet are always worshipped by your unalloyed devotees, and those lotus feet pacify their lotus like hearts. I therefore repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So Bhumi Devi, when she's offering prayers to Lord Sri Krishna, she is now glorifying his feature as that form of the Lord from whose navel a lotus flower grows out. So specifically, she is meditating on which feature of the Lord, or which of the three Vishnus?
Tarano Vishnu or Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu's navel, from Mahavishnu's navel a lotus flower grows?
Pranodakshai Vishnu.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Garbhodakashai Vishnu, yes, Garbhodakashai Vishnu, correct. And Mahavishnu is creating universes by his breathing. Remember, from the navel of of Garbhodakashai Vishnu comes the lotus, and then on top of the lotus is Lord Brahma, who's the creator or the secondary creator of that particular of the planetary systems within that universe.
Can we just quickly revise that? The names
Of the three Vishnus?
Yes.
Okay, so first you have Mahavishnu or Karanodakashai Vishnu. He is breathing, and by his breathing, universes are being created. When he breathes out, universes are created, and when he breathes in, there is destruction. All the universes go inside his body. So from every pore of his skin, a universe is generated by his breathing. So that is Karanodakashai Vishnu or Mahavishnu. Then we have Garbhodakashai Vishnu, who is an expansion of Mahavishnu, and he enters into each universe. Okay. And from his navel comes a lotus flower. In our universe, in the stem of those lotus flower are the 14 planetary systems. It can be, this number varies for different universes. There are bigger universes, there are smaller universes. In our universe, we have 14 planetary systems. And on top of that lotus, in the lotus stem is the lotus flower. And there is the abode of Lord Brahma or Brahma Loka, because he is the first created living entity in the universe. Now, okay, we have the planets, and within the planets, there are so many jivas. How to maintain those jivas now? So, therefore, Garbhodakashai Vishnu, he expands as Shiro Dakashai Vishnu or Paramatma, and he enters into the heart of every living entity, and he resides there as a Paramatma. So, these are the three Vishnus. You possess all beauty, strength, fame, property, knowledge, and renunciation. You are the shelter of all six opulences. Although you are all pervading, you have appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Please therefore accept my respectful obeisances. You are the original supreme personality of Godhead and the supreme cause of all causes. Only your lordship is the reservoir of all knowledge. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Personally, you are unborn. Still, you are the father of the whole cosmic manifestation. You are the reservoir and shelter of all kinds of energies. The manifested appearance of this world is caused by you, and you are both the cause and effect of this cosmic manifestation. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisances. So, here now she is glorifying Krishna as which Vishnu? Because she says you are all pervading.
Kshirodakshaya Vishnu.
Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, because he is pervading into the all the living entities as the super soul. Not only human beings, but even animals, insects, birds, trees, plants, like that. Okay.
Just one question.
Yes.
In the beginning of Krishna book, when Brahma he goes to meet Vishnu, he's meeting Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, right?
He meets Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Whenever the
Okay.
demigods want to meet Vishnu, they can only go to Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Because Kshirodakshaya Vishnu has one planet. Of course, he is residing in the heart of all the living entities, but he also has a planet where he resides within the material world. And that's where the Devatas can go, because they cannot go to the spiritual world. If they were qualified to go to the spiritual world, they would be in the spiritual world already, But so therefore, they cannot go to the spiritual world. They are within the material universe. So there is a planet of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, or on the shore of the milk ocean, they say. Shir Sagar means ocean of milk. So that's where they
Milk.
go. So whenever you hear about some Devata has gone to meet Lord Vishnu, it is always Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. My dear Lord, as for the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they are not independent of you. When there is a necessity of creating this cosmic manifestation, you create your passionate appearance of Brahma. And when you want to maintain this cosmic manifestation, you expand yourself as Lord Vishnu, the reservoir of all goodness. Similarly, you appear as Lord Shiva, master of the mode of ignorance, and thus dissolve the whole creation. You always maintain your transcendental position in spite of creating these three modes of material nature. You are never entangled in these modes of nature as the ordinary living entities are. So she is glorifying now how Krishna is the source of Brahma, is the source of Vishnu, and is the source of Lord Shiva. And how, as Lord Shiva, he is destroying, how, as Lord Vishnu, he maintains, and how, as Brahma, he is creating. So, yes, Brahma is the creator, but always remember that he is the created creator. And then she is glorifying how Krishna is above the three modes of material nature. So, all living entities, they are under the influence of the three modes of material nature. So, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. But Krishna is beyond these three modes. He doesn't come under the influence of the three modes. Doesn't matter whether he's in the spiritual world or he's in the material world. Never Krishna is under the three modes of material nature. Which pastime is this? Does anybody remember? In that picture on the right of your screen.
When Indra captured all his friends.
When Indra, there is an echo in your voice. I didn't get
Indra
that.
took all his friends.
Yeah, Indra had kidnapped the Gopa friends of Krishna and also the.
Brahma had kidnapped.
I'm sorry, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Brahma had kidnapped the Gopa friends of Krishna and also
The house.
the calves.
Calves.
So then what
Calves.
Krishna did, he expanded himself as each one of those calves and each one of those Gopa friends. And for one whole year, he was doing this. And it so happened that the cows and the mothers, they were giving more love to their children now, because actually that though they are now Krishna, they don't know that my son here is actually Krishna. but they are showering more love on their children. So this is called as a Brahma Vimohana Leela, or the bewilderment of Lord Brahma. Yes. Actually, my Lord, you are the you are the material nature, you are the father of the universe, and you are eternal time, which has caused the combination of the elements of nature and the manifestation of the material creation. You are always transcendental to all these material activities. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know that earth, water, fire, air, sky, the five sense objects, mind, the senses and their deities, egotism, and the total material energy, all things animate and inanimate in this phenomenal world rests upon you. Since everything is produced of you, nothing can be separate from you. Yet, since you are transcendentally situated, nothing material can be identified with your personality. Everything is therefore simultaneously one with you and different from you. And the philosophers who try to separate everything from you are certainly mistaken in their viewpoint. So basically what Bhumi Devi is saying is, everything comes from Krishna. Everything animate, inanimate, everything, material, spiritual, everything comes from Krishna. Everything rests upon Krishna. So nothing can be separate from him. But still, he is transcendently situated. Nothing material can be identified with your personality. So although you cannot separate Krishna from anything spiritual or material, yet you cannot say that Krishna in the material world is material or he has a material body. You cannot identify anything material with Krishna. So this is simultaneously one and different at the same time. In the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 7, Krishna says, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So how to understand everything rests up on Krishna is by understanding this analogy, how it is that thread that is keeping all the beads together. Sometimes we cannot see the beads. Sometimes we cannot see the thread between the beads. All the beads are so tightly packed that we cannot see the thread. But still, it takes a little bit of intelligence to understand that if these beads are together, it's because there is a thread that is holding them together. So it's Krishna who's holding this entire spiritual and material manifestation together. He is that thread that keeps everything together. My dear Lord, may I inform you that this boy, whose name is Bhagadatta, is the son of my son, Bhaumāsura. He has been very much affected by the ghastly situation created by the death of his father and has become very much confused and afraid. I have therefore brought him to surrender unto your lotus feet. I request your lordship to give shelter to this boy and bless him with your lotus feet. I bring him to you so that he may be relieved of the reactions of all the sinful activities of his father. After Lord Krishna had heard the prayers of Mother Earth, he immediately assured her of immunity from all fearful situations. He said to Bhagadatta, "Don't be afraid." So he has given fearlessness to the son of Bhaumāsura. Now what happens? Then he entered the palace of Bhaumāsura, which was equipped with all kinds of opulences. In the palace of Bhaumāsura, Lord Krishna saw 16,100 young princesses who had been kidnapped and held captive there. When the princesses saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna enter the palace, they immediately became captivated by the beauty of the Lord and prayed for his causeless mercy. Within their minds, they decided to accept Lord Krishna as their husband without hesitation. So when Krishna enters the palace, there he sees that there are 16,100 princesses. Each one of them prayed to Providence that Krishna might become their husband. Sincerely and seriously, they offered their hearts to the lotus feet of Krishna with an unalloyed devotional attitude. Unalloyed means pure. So they have offered their hearts to the lotus feet of Krishna with a pure devotional attitude. As the super soul in everyone's heart, Krishna could understand their uncontaminated desire and he agreed to accept them as his wives. Thus he arranged for suitable garments and ornaments for them, and each of them, seated on a palanquin, was dispatched to Dwarka city. Krishna also collected unlimited wealth from the palace, a treasure of chariots, horses, jewels, and so on. He took from the palace 50 white elephants, each of them with 4 tusks, and all of them were dispatched to Dwarka. So, because these princesses, they wanted to have Krishna as their husband, and they are unalloyed, no, their devotion is unalloyed, pure devotion they have for Krishna. So, therefore, Krishna has fulfilled their desire, and he accepts them as his wife, and he has sent them to Dwarka, and he has sent them to Dwarka very, very respectfully. Each of them have been sent to Dwarka, seated on a palanquin. With unlimited wealth also Krishna has sent with them to Dwarka city. After this incident, Lord Krishna and Satyabhama entered Amaravati, the capital city of the heavenly planets, and they immediately entered the palace of King Indra and his wife Sachi Devi, who welcomed them. Krishna then presented Indra with the earrings of Aditi. When Krishna and Satyabhama were returning from the capital city of Indra, Satyabhama remembered Krishna's promise to give her a parijata tree. Taking the opportunity of having come to the heavenly kingdom, she uprooted a parijata tree and placed it on the back of Garuda. Once Narada had taken a parijata flower and presented it to Krishna's senior wife, Sri Rukmini Devi. On account of this, Satyabhama had developed an inferiority complex. She also wanted such a flower from Krishna. Krishna could understand the competitive womanly nature of his co-wives, and he had smiled. He had immediately asked Satyabhama, "Why are you asking for only one flower? I would like to give you a whole tree of parijata flowers." So, what do you think is Indra's reaction? When Satyabhama has taken the tree, what is Indra's reaction?
He would be happy.
He should be happy. Let us see what happens. Actually, Krishna had purposely taken his wife Satyabhama with him so that she could collect the parijata with her own hand. But the denizens of the heavenly planets, including Indra, were very irritated. Without their permission, Satyabhama had uprooted a parijata tree, which is not found on the earthly planet. Indra, along with the other demigods, offered opposition to Krishna and Satyabhama for taking away the tree. But in order to please his favorite wife, Satyabhama, Krishna became determined and adamant. So there was a fight between the demigods and Krishna. As usual, Krishna came out victorious and he triumphantly brought the Parijata tree chosen by his wife to this earth planet, to Dwaraka. After this, the tree was installed in the palace garden of Satyabhama. On account of this extraordinary tree, the garden house of Satyabhama became extraordinarily beautiful. As the Parijata tree came down to the earthly planet, the fragrance of its flowers also came down, and the celestial drones migrated to this earth in search of their fragrance and honey. So this Parijata tree has such beautiful flowers and has such a nice fragrance that even the bees from the heavenly planets, they have come to the earth in search for the fragrance and honey of this Parijata flowers. And Krishna has planted this Parijata tree where? Where has he planted this
Outside
tree?
In Satyabhama's garden.
outside
Yes, in
Satyabhama's
the
garden.
exactly in the garden or in the courtyard of Satyabhama. Very nice. Yeah, Aja, you have your hand raised.
Mataji, since the demigods know Krishna's ultimate, then why do they always fight with Krishna? They know they're not going to
Yes.
win, right?
Yes. See, the problem is in the heavenly planets, there is a lot of opulence. No, there is a lot of opulence. There is unimaginable opulence. So, what happens when one has too many opulences? Then one can get carried away, when one can forget Krishna. See, when we are very comfortable in our lives, no, we don't have any financial issues, we don't have any relationship issues, we don't have any health issues, and everything is very smooth in our lives. then we may tend to forget Krishna. But as soon as there is any problem, immediately we will go to the temple, immediately we will worship, immediately we will offer prayers. No, so when there is turbulence in our life, then we remember Krishna. Just as how, for example, when there was in here Chile, when they see here in Chile, people are not so spiritually inclined. No, they are very much into sense gratification. But in 2010, we had an earthquake here. And I remember in 2010, all the churches here were full. All the churches were full. Usually, very few go to the churches. Churches are very empty here. But because of the earthquake, there was no place inside the churches. So the thing is, in the heavenly planets, the opulence is so much that they tend to forget Krishna. That's the problem over there. Therefore, a devotee does not even desire to go to heavenly planets. The devotee only wants to search for Krishna. See, there is a book called Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which describes the journey of a jiva all the way to the spiritual world. So, as he is being taken to these different planets, to the other higher planetary systems, and he sees that there is so much opulence and it is so beautiful and it is so stress-free, disease-free. And as he's going, he sees all this, but he only searches for Krishna. He says, oh, Krishna is not here. So he proceeds. Where is Krishna? And he goes to another higher planet. And then again, he's searching for Krishna. And then he's going to another higher planet because Krishna is not there. He's not interested. So my Guru Maharaj explains that the same thing happens to us when we are taken. If we are wonderstruck and awestruck and we enjoy the beauty of those heavenly planets and the beauty and the opulence over there, then we will stay there, because that's what we are attracted to. But if we are seeing there's so much opulence there, but where is Krishna, then we will be taken higher, and still we are like, where is Krishna, then we will be taken higher and higher till we reach the spiritual world. So we should not be carried away or blinded by the opulence in the heavenly planets, as is happened with Indra. See, Indra, he went and requested Krishna to deal with this demon. And Krishna has even brought him back what he wanted. And still he is now, soon after he's received the earrings and the umbrella, soon after that now he's fighting with Krishna. So this is what opulence does. We saw what happened with Shyamataka as well, no? Same thing, same concept. Okay. See, let's read this from the Srimad Bhagavatam translation. Even after Indra had bowed down to Lord Achyuta, touched his feet with the tips of his crown, and begged the Lord to fulfill his desire, that exalted demigod, having achieved his purpose, chose to fight with the Supreme Lord. What ignorance there is amongst the gods, to hell with their opulence. Who is speaking this line? To hell with their opulence. Who is saying this?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj?
Sukadeva Goswami.
Sukadeva Goswami, yes. So Sukadeva Goswami actually condemns the act of Indra. He is speaking this to Maharaj Parikshit. Now let us see what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in his commentary. Parikshit was astonished to hear that Indra fought with his worshipful Lord Krishna. Sukadeva therefore condemned Indra's character in this verse. Although Krishna fulfilled Indra's desire, Artha Sadhanam, to kill Narakasura and bring back Aditi's earrings, still Indra fought with Krishna. Even though he is the king of the demigods, what anger the demigods have! One who is really situated in Sattva Guna would never do such a thing. Furthermore, Indra is not just any demigod, but the king of the demigods, and even he is manifested the mode of ignorance. Therefore, to hell with their wealth. What anartha does wealth not create? King Indra's behavior towards Krishna was not very much appreciated by great sages like Sukadeva Goswami. Out of his causeless mercy, Krishna had gone to the heavenly kingdom Amaravati to present King Indra with his mother's earrings, which had been lost to Bhaumāsura, and Indra had been very glad to receive them. But when a Parijata tree from the heavenly kingdom was taken by Krishna, Indra had fought with him. This was self-interest on the part of Indra. He had offered his prayer, tipping down his head to the lotus feet of Krishna. But as soon as his purpose had been served, he became a different creature. That is the way of the dealings of materialistic men. Materialistic men are always interested in their own profit. For this purpose, they can offer any kind of respect to anyone, but when their personal interest is over, they are no longer friends. This selfish nature is found not only among the richer class of men on this planet, but even in personalities like Indra and other demigods. Too much wealth makes a man selfish. A selfish man is not prepared to take to Krishna consciousness and is condemned by great devotees like Sukadeva Goswami. In other words, possession of too many worldly riches is a disqualification for advancement in Krishna consciousness. So if we have too many possessions, that is a hindrance for our advancement in our spiritual life. So what do? We use it in the service of Krishna. Otherwise, we will become proud. Not only wealth, any talent also we may have, or any other opulence we may have, like fame or beauty. We have to use it in the service of Krishna. Then we will not become proud. Otherwise, we will be proud. Yeah, when do you have your hand raised?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please
Hare
accept my
Krishna.
humble obeisances to you. Yeah, I just want to share that even in the Bible, they say that we cannot serve two kind of king. So it's referring about we cannot serve Lord and the wealth. So it's according to what you say now. So ellos dicen que no podemos servir a dos reyes, no podemos servir a Dios y a las riquezas. So tenemos que elegir. Thank you, Hare
Yes.
Krishna Mataji.
So nice. Muchas gracias por compartir. Thank you very much. Yeah, we cannot serve two. She's saying we cannot serve two kings. Either you serve the Lord or you serve your opulence or your wealth. No, either you are in Krishna service or you're in Maya service. So she's saying the Bible teaches the same thing. Thank you very much. Yeah, Aja, you have your hand raised.
Yes, Mataji. What was my question? Oh, how can we use beauty for Krishna? For Krishna, how do we do that? Just I'm wondering.
See, because there are many ways. One way is how you appear physically.
Mhm.
See, beauty attracts, right? One is attracted to beauty. So
Yeah.
when you have beauty and you have that potency to attract people, you attract people and you preach to them Krishna consciousness. How you are dressed up also plays a big part on your preaching. For example, there may be one person who is a very expert in giving tips on fitness. Let's say he's very good at giving tips on fitness and he can give you the correct advice. And he can give a wonderful class and very genuine advice he can give you. But when you go and to hear such a person, if he himself is not fit, if he is very obese and let's say he's 150 kilos, then is it going to have the same appeal?
Oh no.
No, correct, no. So therefore, how you appear physically is also very important in your preaching. So that's how you use your beauty to attract people and then you preach them Krishna consciousness.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Shailesh?
Three questions rather. One is the Vajanti is the famous Vajanti Mala that the Lord has in the one that Umi offered to him.
Yes.
Okay. Second is, one of the reasons why Diwali is celebrated is because that is the time when Narkasur dies. So it's the
Exactly.
same one.
Yes, he's the same one. During Diwali time, we celebrate Naraka Chaturdasi, correct? So
Yes.
that's the day when Narakasura was killed, correct? That's right.
And third, but not the last, the Parichat tree, is it the only one that Indra has, or he has a set of Parijat trees?
It is described in one of the acharyas say that in the material world, there is Parijata tree in Indra Loka. That's all. That's the only place where it is found. One tree.
But okay, in Indralok, there's only
Yeah.
one tree.
Yeah. But in the spiritual world, there are several. So Krishna can get one from the spiritual world. Why is he getting it from Indra? You can ask. Yeah, Priyanka, let's discuss that later. Priyanka, you have your hand raised?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I was actually wondering, you mentioned some pastime about Srila Prabhupada when you were dancing at late night and then one devotee saw a big garland of flower. That was where Jayanti Mala or
Oh, I don't
Parijata.
remember which flower it was. I only remember that those flowers were very big sized, and normally in the material world you get it small size. It was big size flower, and it was not in season at that time. That's what I remember about that garland, but I don't remember which kind of flower it was. Okay. So, coming to the point that why did Krishna have to take the Parijata from Indra if in the spiritual world there are so many Parijata trees? So, I want to read from Jiva Goswami's book, Gopal Champu. Here, from this book, I'm going to read. So, the messengers are describing these events to Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan. And the messengers are saying, on going, he took the Parijata tree from the Nandana forest. Everyone said, oh, how did he do that? The messenger said, first Krishna asked Narada for the Parijata, but he did not get it. He asked permission from Indra. So just see, Krishna has asked permission from Indra. And Indra asked him to destroy his enemies. So Indra has put one condition. You destroy my enemies, then you'll get the Parijata. I'll read it again. He asked permission from Indra, and Indra asked him to destroy his enemies. On doing so, he came to Indra's house with his wife Satyabhama to take the tree. Indra did not give the tree. When leaving, Krishna took the tree. So actually, Indra has not fulfilled his promise. It's not that Krishna had just come and stolen the tree. He has failed to fulfill his promise. Indra has failed to fulfill his promise. And therefore, then it says here, Indra did not give the tree. When leaving, Krishna took the tree. Krishna, who appeared to protect the wealth of Indra and destroy his enemies, was sitting there. He asked for the tree as a reward, but Indra refused. Krishna then displayed his warrior spirit and fought with the Devatas and Indra. He defeated them all and took the tree himself. See who has what kind of dharma. Then at another place, it's described. The messenger said, some describe Indra's cheating propensity. When Satyabhama desired the Parijata tree and went to the house of Indra's wife, she saw a desirable, beautiful Parijata brought by a forest goddess. Sachi put the flower on her head and said, you are not qualified for this because you are human. But riding on Garuda, who makes the sound of the Vedas by flapping his wings, bewilders everyone, including you. So even Indra's wife Sachi is telling Satyabhama that actually you are not qualified for this Parijata flower because you are human. Seeing their ingratitude and having done as Indra had requested, Krishna took the jewel mountain along with the Parijata to his house. So this is how it has happened, as described by Sri Jiva Goswami in his Gopal Champu. Okay.
What is you said Jewel Mountain?
Yes,
The
Jewel
name is
Mountain, but that's what is written, Jewel Mountain, that's all. Just take it as it is. There are no descriptions. Okay. After defeating Indra, Krishna arranged to marry the 16,100 girls brought from the custody of Bhaumāsura. By expanding himself into 16,100 forms, he simultaneously married them all in different palaces at the same auspicious moment. He thus established the truth that Krishna and no one else is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is nothing impossible for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is all-powerful, omnipresent, and imperishable. And so there is nothing wonderful in this pastime. All the palaces of more than 16,000 queens of Krishna were filled with suitable gardens, furniture, and other paraphernalia, to which there is no parallel in this world. There is no exaggeration in this story from Srimad Bhagavatam. The queens of Krishna were all expansions of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi ji. Krishna lived with them in different palaces and he treated them exactly the same way as an ordinary man treats his wife. So, Krishna has expanded himself into 16,108 Krishnas and he is maintaining his queens in 16,108 very, very opulent palaces, of which there is no parallel in this world. So that is the potency of Krishna. See, translation from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Then the imperishable Supreme Personality, assuming a separate form for each bride, duly married all the princesses simultaneously, each in her own palace. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, returning to Dwaraka, Krishna married all the women at the same time, Muhurta Ekasmin, because the experts in astrology told Krishna that the most auspicious time, Lagna, for marriage was at that very moment. Krishna manifested identical forms, Prakasha Vigrahas, Tavad Rupa Dharo, of himself to marry all the brides. Though Krishna had one body, it appeared in separate forms and he controlled all of them. One should not explain the phrase Tavad Rupa Dharo as simply a multiplication of bodies, Kaya Vyuha. This is corroborated by Narada Muni in a later chapter. Okay, so what happened is, as soon as Krishna reaches Dwaraka, he is told by the astrologers that the auspicious moment to marry is right now. So immediately he has expanded himself into 16,100 forms so that he can marry all of these princesses. No? Because even the marriage ceremony has to take place at that moment, but with all these princesses. So therefore, he is marrying each one in 16,108 forms. Okay. 16,100 forms. Okay. Because 8 he's already married. Now, what else is missing for a marriage? He has to be there. The bride has to be there. Then he has the palaces where the marriage ceremony can take place. That also he has created 16,100. What else do you need for a proper marriage? What is missing?
Father.
Ah, very nice. The parents also have to be there, isn't it? Your elders, your family members also have to be there. So how will they, which marriage ceremony are they going to attend? What do you think is the solution?
But Nanda Maharaj has given a general go-ahead for all the marriages, right?
Yeah, but what about Vasudev and Devaki and Rohini? They are all there in Dwarka, no?
Krishna can simply just manifest himself into them and put them in all the marriages.
Very nice, Vivansh. That's very good of you. Very brilliant answer. See here. Okay, let's read this. Narada Muni thought, it is quite amazing that in a single body, Krishna simultaneously married 16,000 women, each in a separate palace. According to Sridhara Swami, the phrase Yatho Payame, married properly, implies that Krishna's entire company of relatives, including Devaki and others, also appeared in each and every house simultaneously. By Krishna's inconceivable energy, all of his associates also manifested identical forms. The word avyaya, imperishable, means in all circumstances they were complete, not present only in a partial expansion. The Brihat Bhagavatamrita confirms this point. The Prakasha forms of Krishna are not different at all from the original form of Krishna. So not only has Krishna expanded himself and manifested himself into 16,108 Krishnas, but all his relatives, his parents, the elders, all of them, all these relatives also, all the family members also, now they have also manifested into 16,108 manifestations. And all in each palace, Krishna is marrying his queen along with all the relatives and the family members. So just see the potency of Krishna. Now, Prakasha forms of Krishna are not different at all from the original form of Krishna. So that doesn't mean, because Krishna has expanded himself, it doesn't mean that one form is less than the other form in any way. They have the same potency, same power. Physically also they appear the exact same. So that is called Prakasha, manifestation of Krishna. The forms are exact same manifestations of Krishna. In no way they are inferior. In no way they are inferior. Previously also Krishna has done this. He manifested himself into his Prakasha forms. Which pastime was that?
When he fought the 7 bulls.
Yes, when he fought the 7 bulls, very nice. And before that?
When Brahma took all his
Rasalila.
friends.
When Brahma
Rasalila.
took all his friends, but that time Krishna manifested as the cowherd boys, not as Krishna. When did he manifest as Krishna?
Rasalila.
Ras Leela, yes, during the Rasa dance. Very nice. Okay. So they are called as the Prakasha forms of Krishna. So Swayam Rupa Krishna, when he expands, then they are called Swayam Prakasha. That Swayam Prakasha are of two kinds, Prabhava Prakasha and Vaibhava Prakasha. In Prabhava Prakasha, the form is the exact same. In Vaibhava Prakasha, the potency is the same, but the physical features may be different. For example, Krishna and Balaram. Balaram is white, Krishna is black. That's the only difference, the difference in complexion. So that is Vaibhava Prakasha. The same potency, but physical features can vary. Okay, coming back to Krishna book, we should always remember that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna was playing exactly like a human being. Although he showed his extraordinary opulences by simultaneously marrying more than 16,000 wives in more than 16,000 palaces, he behaved with them just like an ordinary man, and he strictly followed the relationship between husband and wife required in ordinary homes. Therefore, it is very difficult to understand the characteristics of the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead. Even demigods like Brahma are unable to probe into the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The wives of Krishna were so fortunate that they got the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their husband, although their husband's personality was unknown even to Brahma and the other demigods. In their dealings as husband and wife, Krishna and his queens would smile, talk, joke, embrace, and so on, and their conjugal relationship ever increasingly developed. In this way, Krishna and the queens enjoyed transcendental happiness in their household life. Although each and every queen had thousands of maidservants engaged for her service, the queens were all personally attentive to serving Krishna. Each one of them used to receive Krishna personally when he entered the palace. They engaged in seating him on a nice couch, worshipping him with all kinds of paraphernalia, washing his lotus feet with Ganges water, offering him betel nuts, and massaging his legs. In this way, they gave him relief from the fatigue he felt after being away from home. They fanned him nicely, offered him fragrant essential floral oil, decorated him with flower garlands, dressed his hair, asked him to lie down to take rest, bathed him personally, and fed him palatable dishes. Each queen did all these things herself and did not wait for the maid servants. In other words, Krishna and his different queens displayed on this earth an ideal household life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 59th chapter of Krishna, the deliverance of the demon Bhaumāsura. So what do you think are the lessons we learn from this chapter?
Don't be too puffed up.
Don't be too puffed up. The same lesson we saw in the previous chapter. Very nice. What else?
One shouldn't go for opulences. Instead, pray and love Lord Krishna.
One should not go. I didn't get that.
After the opulences,
Yes, yes.
and should instead love and pray Krishna.
Yes, very nice. So one should not run after opulences, because even if it's in your karma, you will get the opulences anyway. And when you get it because of your karma, then you can use it in the service of Krishna as much as possible. Otherwise, we will become proud. Even small things, even any talent we have, if we don't use it in the service of Krishna, it will make us proud. And pride leads to a fall. See, there is one pastime Yamuna Mataji describes. Because Yamuna Mataji, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, she was very expert in cooking. She was very expert in making very delicious food stuff, and she would use it in the service of Krishna. And there were other devotees who wanted to learn from her, and she would always teach and share her recipes to whoever asked her, no. And she would say that Srila Prabhupada also told her that yes, if she doesn't share her recipes, if she doesn't teach, then she will become proud of her cooking talent. So even something as small as your cooking talent, if you don't use it in Krishna service, even that can make you proud. Okay. What else?
Stealing other person's property, like the earrings of Aditi was stolen, then the Parvat, and then the Mani Parvat, and all of these things.
Yes. And why do you think he stole them? Why did Bhaumāsura steal the earrings and the umbrella?
Maybe because he wanted a war with Krishna. He
He
wanted
wanted
him.
a war with Krishna?
He wanted to die so he can go back to Godhead.
That's how a devotee thinks. If he thinks like that, a devotee will never think that I should do something notorious so that Krishna will kill me and I can go back to God. That's not how a devotee thinks. And even a demon will not think that, okay, I am demoniac because I want Krishna to kill me and take me back to the spiritual world.
I guess
How does a demon think? He's a demon. How does a demon think?
demon just wants other people's property, and he wants to disturb other people's health and mind and
Yeah, but
life.
this was an umbrella and an earring.
Kill Krishna.
What's that?
All demons want to kill Krishna.
They want to kill Krishna. In this case, actually, it's described that he was very notorious and he wanted to show his superiority. Demons always like to establish that they are the topmost, and they like to trouble the Devatas to show that, look, I can dominate you, I can steal your mother's earrings, I can take away your umbrella, I can take away your stuff, and you will not be able to do anything. No? So, to prove their superiority, then they engage in many notorious activities. And this was the one of the reasons why Bhaumāsura he took away these belongings of the Devatas just to irk them, just to show them that I am superior to you. Okay, anyway, let's see here. Okay, let's read this before that. The Acharyas, this is from the purport. The Acharyas have explained in various plausible ways why Krishna took his wife Satyabhama with him. Srila Sridhar Swami begins by saying that Lord wanted to give his adventurous wife a novel experience and thus took her to the scene of this extraordinary battle. Also, Lord Krishna had once granted the blessing to Bhumi, the earth goddess, that he would not kill her demoniac son without her permission. Since Bhumi is an expansion of Satyabhama, the latter could authorize Krishna to do the needful with the unusually nasty Bhaumāsura. Finally, Satyabhama had been miffed when Narada Muni brought a celestial Parijata flower to Queen Rukmini. To pacify Satyabhama, Lord Krishna had promised her, I will give you the whole tree of these flowers, and thus the Lord scheduled this procurement of a heavenly tree with his itinerary. Even nowadays, devoted husbands take their wives shopping, and thus Lord Krishna took Satyabhama to the heavenly planets to get a heavenly tree, as well as to retrieve the goods Bhaumāsura had stolen and return them to their rightful owners. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur notes that in the heat of the battle, Queen Satyabhama would naturally become anxious for Lord Krishna's safety and pray for the battle to end. Thus, she would readily give permission to Krishna to kill the son of her expansion, Bhumi. Actually, what I'll do is I'll read here in the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. In one commentary, he writes, see, this is in commentary to verse number 21. The translation I'll read first of verse 21. Bhauma, frustrated in all his attempts, took up his trident to kill Lord Krishna. But even before he could release it, the Lord cut off his head with his razor-sharp chakra as the demon sat atop his elephant. So in commentary to this particular verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, as Bhauma raised his invincible trident, Satyabhama, sitting beside Kṛṣṇa on Garuda, said, kill him right away. And Kṛṣṇa did just that. So this is where Satyabhama has given permission to Kṛṣṇa to kill her son. Okay. See, lessons learned. Power without devotion ends in destruction. So we see how Bhaumāsura had a lot of power, but he did not use it in the service of Kṛṣṇa. So material power without devotion leads to destruction. Any power, any wealth, any position, any talent you have is valuable only when it is used in Kṛṣṇa's service. Then the higher the pride, the lower the wisdom, and the farther we drift from the Lord. So we should always remember that pride will make a person blind to the Lord. Narakasura became so proud that he dared to attack and exploit even highly exalted personalities like Indra and the demigods and their possessions. So therefore what happens is when pride increases, then intelligence decreases. We don't understand what we are doing. Pride makes us blind to what is right and what is wrong. This is how Bhaumāsura, because of his pride, he forgot that he is actually attacking very, very powerful personalities. So when pride increases, intelligence decreases. A powerful person, and when a powerful person, he forgets Kṛṣṇa, eventually he becomes powerless. Kṛṣṇa can take away that which is coming in the way of your spiritual well-being. Unlimited Kṛṣṇa, unlimited mercy. You cannot measure the unlimited with material calculations. So can you tell me in what context of the story is this lesson? Unlimited Kṛṣṇa, unlimited mercy?
Because he splits himself into 16,000 forms.
Yes, unlimited Kṛṣṇa, unlimited mercy. And then why do we have this line here? You cannot measure the unlimited with material calculation. Because non-devotees always say, oh, Kṛṣṇa had many wives, Kṛṣṇa had many gopis, Kṛṣṇa is dancing with the gopis, so I can also have many girlfriends, I can also have multiple wives. Why should I have only one wife? No. This line many times non-devotees they say, and they use that as an excuse to engage in sinful activities. But Kṛṣṇa is God. We are not God. Kṛṣṇa is unlimited. We are not unlimited. So we cannot understand Kṛṣṇa's 16,108 marriages by giving an example of ordinary human desire or ordinary polygamy. Kṛṣṇa is the supreme personality of Godhead, and the princesses were also completely surrendered, purified souls. So we cannot imitate Kṛṣṇa's position. We cannot imitate Kṛṣṇa's activities. We only have to follow his instructions. We try to understand Kṛṣṇa through Guru, Sadhu and Shastra instead of trying to understand Kṛṣṇa by our own material limitations. Very, very important. Then 4. As one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. Kṛṣṇa says in Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 4. So because the queens, they wanted to have Kṛṣṇa as their husband, that was their desire. So Kṛṣṇa also reciprocated to them by fulfilling their desire and accepting them as his wives. So as you surrender, accordingly, Kṛṣṇa will reciprocate. Next, true security comes from taking shelter of Kṛṣṇa. Who can explain this in the context of today's story?
Because Kṛṣṇa told Bhaumāsura's son not to worry.
Okay.
Because he took this, because Bhumi brought him under the shelter of Kṛṣṇa.
Made him fearless.
So he made him fearless. Very nice. Okay. Any other incident from the story?
The princesses who took the 16,000 princesses immediately took Krishna as their husband and he accepted.
Exactly. No. So see, they are princesses. So which means they are coming from royal families, powerful families. And still they were in a completely powerless situation because they have been kidnapped by Kṛṣṇa. But because they took shelter of Kṛṣṇa, then only they got true security. All their opulence of being the queens, royal families, powerful daughters of powerful kings, all that did not come to their rescue, but only them taking shelter of Kṛṣṇa came to their rescue. Just as how we give the example of Draupadi. No, Draupadi was the wife of 5 powerful Pandavas who have no equal anywhere, right? 5 powerful husbands she has. She herself is a daughter of another powerful king, Drupad. So there is a lot of opulence, there is a lot of wealth. She was also stunningly beautiful, one of the most beautiful women of her times. But none of her opulences could save her in that infamous gambling match episode. Only when she took shelter of Kṛṣṇa, when she surrendered herself to Kṛṣṇa completely, then only she found protection. So this is very, very important. Nothing, no power, no wealth, no gun, no intelligence, no beauty will come to your rescue unless you surrender. So take shelter of Kṛṣṇa. With Kṛṣṇa's mercy, a tragic situation becomes a path to spiritual fortune. So the princesses, again, they were in a hopeless situation, right? But that hopeless situation actually was the reason why eventually they could have Kṛṣṇa as their husband. Because if they were not kidnapped and if they were not under Bhaumāsura's arrest, then Kṛṣṇa would have not rescued them, and then they would have not got Kṛṣṇa as their husband. So sometimes when we go through difficult times, the reason is that is Kṛṣṇa is giving us that as an opportunity to advance more or advance towards Kṛṣṇa, to take our more steps towards Kṛṣṇa. Because every time we go through any anxiety, any suffering, we are actually burning our past karma. So sometimes a tragic situation can become a path to spiritual fortune. So when sometimes means at what times? When Kṛṣṇa is giving us his mercy. Sometimes we are suffering only because it's our past karma. Therefore we are suffering. We are under the law of karma. But when Kṛṣṇa gives us his mercy, we can go through suffering, but that suffering is actually a way or means for us to advance more towards him. He who has everything but Kṛṣṇa has nothing else. He who has Kṛṣṇa needs nothing else. So Bhaumāsura had all opulence, but eventually he got nothing because he was against Kṛṣṇa. But on the other side, the princesses, they were in a hopeless situation. They had nothing in their possession, but they got everything because they have Kṛṣṇa by their side. So these are some of the lessons that we learn from today's episode. Yeah, Shailesh, you have your hand raised?
Does it say anywhere what happened to Bhaumāsura's son?
The only information we have is that he was granted fearlessness by Kṛṣṇa. That's all. We don't have further information. On that note, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Kṛṣṇa, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Do we have any questions or comments?
Mataji, is there some lesson that we can learn from Garuda when he was tracked by some weapon, but he felt it like garland of flowers?
So the lesson that you learn from that is Kṛṣṇa, he is unlimited and he also empowers his devotees with strength and opulence. So these demons, what they will deal with Kṛṣṇa, they cannot even deal with the devotees of Kṛṣṇa, because Kṛṣṇa empowers his devotees. Because Garuda is a pure devotee. That's why devotees are very, very powerful, no? Kṛṣṇa, that's why, see, so much of emphasis is laid in, especially in ISKCON, not to offend Vaishnavas, because they are very dear to Kṛṣṇa, and Kṛṣṇa empowers them. Therefore, we have to be very careful when we are dealing with Kṛṣṇa and his devotees.
Yes, Mataji, and one more question.
Yes.
Actually, I was reading the cover of Srimad Bhagavatam first canto. In the third point, actually, in the Mataji, in the yellow page. So it is given that within this unlimited Brahma Jyoti, there are unlimited numbers of spiritual planets. So I'm just confused that how can there be spiritual planets in the Brahma Jyoti?
Why not? Because, say, Kṛṣṇa, the Brahma Jyoti is the light that is coming from Kṛṣṇa's body. Krishna is in the center of that spiritual world. I mean, he's in the center of that lotus. See, okay, spiritual world is in the form of a lotus, right? The center of that lotus flower is the whole, and that's where Krishna is there in Goloka, and the Vaikuntha planets are the petals. So, because the light is coming from Krishna's body, all these spiritual planets are also floating. All the Vaikuntha planets are all floating in the Brahma Jyoti.
And somewhere I read that Vaikuntha planets are in Brahma Jyoti also. In
Yes,
the back.
yes.
But
See,
he
you
said
have
that
you have the lotus flower. In the lotus flower, if you just imagine a lotus flower, in the center of the lotus flower, there's a bright light. So all those petals are there in that light. Correct. So Krishna is in the center of that lotus flower, and the light that is emanating from Krishna's body is the Brahma Jyoti. So these spiritual planets are floating in the Brahma Jyoti, Vaikuntha planets.
okay, got it now. Thank you, Mataji.
You're welcome. Aja?
Mataji, can you please tell me again the name of the book you said? It explains.
This is Gopal Champu by.
No, it explains the what happened. It explains about our death, birth and death, and what happens after death.
Oh,
right?
that book is Brihat. No, Brihat Bhagavatamrita. What I mentioned in the class is it describes there are two sections to that. One section describes Narada's quest for finding the most perfect or the greatest devotee, the greatest Vaishnava. So he goes to different personalities, and then each personality is saying that no, I am not so great. So and so is great because so and so has this which I don't have. Like he goes to Hanuman, Pandavas, and like that he is his quest to finding the greatest Vaishnava. And then the other part of this Brihat Bhagavatamrita is the story of Gopakumar, his journey after death, how he is going to the different planetary systems and his experiences. Yeah, so the book is Brihat Bhagavatamrita.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Anything else we need to discuss?
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It is Srimad Bhagavatam only. From where do you extract the commentary of
Here,
Srila
his
Vishwanath?
commentary is called Sarartha Darshini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll send the photos because the background it's not showing, no? Here.
Yes, Mataji, I got it. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Anything else we need to discuss? So today, for the second time in a row, there is no exam in today's session. So see you all next week. If Krishna so sanctions, till then chant and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Dharatana. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.